Hey my sunshines, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those who do not know me, my name is Khidr and this is KhidrUnveiled, a YouTube channel and a community where we are learning to grow in every aspect of life as well as growing our relationship with Christ. Today's episode is super special to me. Today's episode, by the title, is all about my loc journey. And I thought, why not share my loc journey with you all right now, being as though that I just released a video. Just released a video all about me going back to the salon to get my hair retwisted, maintenance, and colored for the first time since the pandemic has started. So in that video, if you did not get to go see it, I gave a brief update about what I was doing, and I was going to get my hair colored for the first time. As you can see, I am loving it, and it was my first time ever, not just with my locks, but ever color my hair. And this was a great experience. So with that video being out, I thought, why not talk about my loc journey? As many of you may not know, I hit my 2-year loc journey mark in May. And I cannot believe, first of all, I cannot believe it has gone by that fast, because I remember being terrified to get locks. I remember thinking that I wasn't going to like them, thinking that it wasn't going to look right on me, and just thinking about what everybody else was saying. So with that, let's get into the story. Okay, so really let's start back in February. February of 2018 is when the thought of me locking my hair really became a big thing. I thought about it years prior, but honestly, I never really, played with the idea much after a quick thought. And one of my good girlfriends, she got her hair locked in 2017, and I absolutely loved the way her hair turned out. And I remember in 2018, more like end of February, early March, I was seeing someone, and I was just at a place where I did not want to go through it anymore. I was done seeing that person. I was done letting myself, be dictated by how I look to other people. Like, I had to look a certain way, I had to dress a certain way. And it just got to a point where I was just like, this is not really me. I really don't allow people to dictate how I look, or not wear something because of worrying about what people would think. Anyway, so during this time, I broke up with this person because we both understood that it was not something that we was going to do. Like, he was a great person, but he wasn't a great person for me. And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you with somebody and they're a great person, but you know that it's just not going to go further than that. So after that, I just decided to not talk to anybody. I didn't talk to anyone, and I remember, getting heavy in my studies with God, and really just studying for myself, and really just taking my walk more seriously. And I remember feeling like there was going to be a change happening, and I really didn't know what that change meant. I just knew that it was coming for a while. And I remember going to church, and I remember hearing my then pastor talk about, being willing to let go of the distractions and being willing to press into God and really give him all that you have, and, seeing yourself differently on the other side. And sometimes there will be a blessing on the other side, and sometimes there will be a blessing on the other side that you can see, and sometimes there will be a blessing on the other side that you can feel. And I remember saying, I don't know what's going to come up, but I know I wanted a change. I wanted something different. And I remember when I let everything go, I went on a fast. And if anybody know about fasting, once you start fasting and praying and really just eliminating the distractions, you really get to hear from God in a way that is unbelievable. And I remember praying and fasting, and I had, let go social media. I let go some friends. I let go some stuff in school that I was into that I just let kind of fall to the wayside. I was like, all right, whatever. And it was some things that I even let fall in my family life. And I remember praying and fasting and just really like being intentional with God and his time. And, you know, February came and gone, March came and gone, April came and gone. And I remember being at the end of April before it left. So being at the end of April, I remember meeting with my good girlfriend who had got her hair locked. Remember meeting her at a coffee shop. And I remember talking to her about like, yo, I feel like I want to change. I want to do something different. It's something about to happen. And she was like, what do you mean by change and all that stuff? And I was just like, I want to change. It's either I'm going to cut my hair all off, which I'm glad I didn't, or I want to get locks. Like, I think I'm finally ready for locks. And she was like, you should have locked your hair when I locked my hair, and your hair would have been already locked, or it would have been like already forming or whatever. And I remember telling her, like, you know, I'm not willing to travel to New York. She traveled to New York, and I was like, I'm not willing to travel all the way up there. And she was like, well, I found the perfect stylist to do your locks, and da-da-da-da. She was like, it's funny you say that because I just started following him. And Lord and behold, it was my loctician that I have now. His name is Paul. So Paul, if you're watching this, hey. But she showed me Paul, and I remember going through his timeline and really looking. And his parts was neat, and everybody underneath the comments was like, yo, I can't wait to get into your schedule. It's so booked and so busy and da-da-da-da. But everybody kept saying like the service was great. Even when you go on Style Seat, which is how you book with him, there were so many great reviews, and it was so amazing. So I was like, you know, that's something that I would want to do, but where's this guy located? And she was like, oh, he's located in your hometown, Baltimore. And I was like, oh, bet, like, that's perfect. Baltimore is just down the street for me. And at the time I was living in Delaware. So I remember talking to her, and she was like, well, don't keep thinking about it because you're gonna wind up changing your mind again. So we booked the appointment that day. We booked that appointment that same day. And I think it was like a week later where my appointment was with Paul. And I remember being so excited. I did my makeup, something like this. I did my makeup, and I traveled down to Baltimore. And meeting Paul was super nerve-wracking. Not because it was something new. Not only because the process was new, but because I was watching Paul online, and Paul had, I think he has a couple thousands of followers. And usually when you meet people like that, it could either go two ways. It could either go, the stylist is really sweet, down to earth, and, you know, relatable. Or, so it could go either way. Like I was saying, I don't know what happens to my video. But, it could either go either way, where they're really sweet, really relatable, on time, you know, what it should be. Or they could be really arrogant or rude and just high acidity or whatever because of their following. So when I met Paul, I walked in, Jeffrey greeted me. Hi, Jeffrey. Jeffrey is the shampooer and Paul's assistant. So Jeffrey greeted me, took my information, got my robe ready, and Paul was coming up from downstairs, and he was doing his clients in the first seat, but he was coming from downstairs in his salon. And I remember saying, hi, I'm here for Paul, this, and Paul was walking up. He was like, oh, hi, I'm Paul. And he reached out his hand. He was like, nice to meet you. He was like, what's going on today? And I was like, I'm here to get my starter locks. And he was like, oh yes, I remember. He was like, welcome. He was like, thank you for working with me. And then he was like, Jeffrey, if you don't mind, take her back. Was back, got my hair washed. Jeffrey's the best hair. Like, when I say, if you watch my last video, which I will post up here. If you watch my last video about my hair, when I say he's the best shampooer, like, my scalp was feeling so good after that. Like, I felt so relaxed. And he shampooed my hair, sprayed his oils in there. Paul got it. He started twisting my hair, put me back on the dryer for like maybe an hour or so because my hair is so thick. And then he was styling my hair within like 15-20 minutes, and I was out of there in no time. But I remember just sitting there, and he was playing gospel music when I came in, which was so which was amazing for me because I love to hear some gospel music. I love to be unashamed for God. And this was something that I wasn't experiencing in other salons. I will hear all types of, you know, bounce that, this, and that. And this one was, he did not play that. Anybody that was being ratchet, anybody that was being loud in the salon, he was like, yo, that's not what we're going to do. And while I was there, I was just like, yo, this is what it means to really be in control of your salon and making sure that the people around you represent you in a great light, but also represent themselves in a great light. Anyway, so I got my locks done, and I remember how I felt before getting my locks, and I remember how I felt getting my locks. So before I got my locks, I was nervous. I was nervous about what people was going to say about me. I was nervous about how I was going to look. I was nervous about having my hair pulled back because I was getting it in a style. I was nervous about whether I would really like it. It was a good transition for me. And I was just nervous of not being in control, honestly. I am a huge... And I am not in control of something, I don't like it. I tend to freak out. And I knew with my locks, they were going to grow how they wanted to grow. And it was a control thing for me. And it's crazy to say that, but if I don't have control over my hair, it feels like a part of me is missing. But I remember getting my locks after Paul did them. And I remember looking in the locks and I was so excited. Like, I was excited for how he did it. And it looked great. But the moment I walked out of the salon, I became insecure because I was like, I don't have nothing covering my ears. I don't have nothing covering this forehead. Because baby got a 5 head, okay? I don't have nothing that I can pull. Like, you see how I'm pulling my hair down now? I don't have nothing that I could have pulled down because everything was pulled back. And I remember feeling so insecure. And my sister and I, or my best friend, who I oftenly refer as the sister, I remember getting in the car and we was driving. She was like, how you like it? I was like, I like it. It's just different. And I was at a light and somebody in the next car, or somebody walking, one of them was like, dang, your hair tight in Baltimore. And me and my sister looked and she was like, yeah, your hair tight. And I was just like, oh my God, like, other people like my hair. And I was just like, for me, it was more of a, don't worry about the insecurities. The insecurities are going to come. The insecurities are going to be there. You have to be comfortable in yourself. You have to be comfortable in who God made you. Some of your insecurities people are going to love. Like, for me, this journey was more of a spiritual journey. It has, like, I've always told people that my lock journey has always been a spiritual journey for me, because I had to learn how to be uncomfortable through my hair. And it's crazy to say it like that, but I had to learn to really be uncomfortable through my hair. I couldn't control my hair like I wanted to. I kept my hair in a style because I was scared of how it would look once it shrinked up. I was terrified of how it would look because they were so thin. Even though my hair was thick, when you part your hair in multiple parts, it becomes thinner. And I just remember when she said, like, your hair tight, I remember, like, yo, some of the things that I'm insecure about, people love. Like, I used to be so insecure about my eyes because they were so big. And I have gotten so many compliments over the years about my eyes, or about my round face and my cheekbones and even my gap. Like, I thought about closing the gap this year. I really thought about closing my gap this year, getting braces, because I just wanted to look different. And through this whole process, I learned to love myself. I learned to be comfortable with who God called me to be. And it's crazy that through this process, I had to learn all of it. Through this process, I also met my husband. And my husband turned out to love natural hair. And when he seen my locks, which was 2 weeks after I got them, like, remind you, I didn't know my husband at that point. I didn't even know his name. I didn't know who this man was. I just wound up going to an event with my sister. when she invited me out to. And I remember going to this event, not feeling comfortable, not feeling secure enough because my hair wasn't the way I wanted to be. And I remember feeling so like self-conscious about my hair when, come to find out, my now husband was looking at me for that very reason. Like, yo, she got locks, like she's dope. So shout out to my husband for telling me that story, because that really like made me love my hair even more. But fast forward a little bit into 2020, this year. I hit my 2-year mark in May. So I hit my 2-year mark in May, and I took a picture of my hair straight down. So this is the picture. And I took a picture of my hair, and I remember looking at it before I posted. I remember looking at my hair before I posted, and I almost cried. And if anybody know me, people know that I'm a bag of water. It's easy for me to cry. And I almost cried because I looked at my locks, which you guys can probably see. Some of them is not all, like this one, not all the same size. This one right here is bumpy. They're not uniform. And I remember looking at them like, they're not perfect. My hair is not perfect. My hair got bumps. My hair got flaws. My hair got, you know, some raggedy ends. Some parts are smooth. Some parts are, you know, more rough than others. And some people might like that and some people may not. But I love them. And they are me. They are a part of my journey. They are who I am. And I remember thinking, like, is that how God looks at us? Like, when we are looking at ourselves and we like, I don't like this about myself. I don't like this. I don't like this. I want to get a butt job. I want to get a chest job. I want to get my nose done. I want to do this. I want to do that. Is God looking at us that same way? Like, baby, I made you perfect. I made you the way I wanted you to be. I wanted you to grow in a certain way. I wanted you to have that gap for other young girls that's going to look at you and realize that you have a gap and see something in you that they need to see in themselves. I wanted you to have those big eyes. Is it someone that, you know, is going to be looking up? Is someone that's going to be looking up to you that see, oh, wow, she has big eyes, and be comfortable with it. And it's so crazy that in 2020 that I looked at my locks like, wow, this is it. This is how I learned to really grow in myself and love myself and really appreciate who God created me to be. And locks really are just special. Locks, they grow the way they want to. They have, some people say they have different phases, like the baby phase, the adolescent phase, the adult phase, the older adult phase, whatever, where they learn, where some people hair may stick up and, you know, do all these different things because they're in different phases. But throughout each phase, it taught me more and more about being comfortable in who I am. Never settling, but being comfortable. I never settled for when my hair was a certain way when I had locks. Like, if my hair was messy, I never settled for it, but I was comfortable for it, where I was like, you know, when I get the ability to change it, I will change it. When I am ready to, you know, try a new style, I can try a new style. And it taught me that when I'm ready to change things in my life, I have that capability. I have that capability to be who I want to be, to change things, to really walk on the path that God called me to walk on. And my lock journey has really made me feel free. Before, I identified myself with my hair. If my hair wasn't in a weave, it wasn't cute. If I can be real, like, if my hair wasn't in a weave, I wasn't feeling myself. If my hair wasn't in braids, like box braids, I wasn't really trying to do anything. I didn't want to take pictures. Like, I didn't want to be seen out. And I just wasn't comfortable. And I think when a woman is ready to change their hair, I think it's a quote out there that says when a woman changes her hair, or when a woman cuts her hair, she's ready to take over the world, something like that. I was ready to change my whole self. I was ready to be a different person, a different individual. And through my locks, I learned that. I learned to be different. I learned to be patient. Patience is definitely something I've learned with my locks. All right, so lastly, patience. Like I was saying before, it cut off. I don't know what happened, but patience is definitely something that I've learned with my locks. I've learned to be patient with how they grow. I've learned to be patient of how they form, I've learned to be patient of how they lay when I do certain styles. Everything is not going to be in formation. Everything is not going to be absolutely perfect. I could probably make it perfect, but I'm not a perfect person. So I think with everything said, I've learned to be patient. I've learned to be okay with not being in control. I've learned to find the beauty in things that I feel I am uncomfortable with. And I've just learned to love myself overall. Let me give you 5, because that 4 I don't like. And the last one, I've learned to really embrace change. Embrace the newness, embrace the change that's coming, and be happy with what's coming. I don't know what my locks is going to do next. I don't know how they're going to react, but I do know they're going to be here for a while. So I thank you all. Thank you for coming to Khidr Unveiled. Thank you for coming to this YouTube channel to check me out. I'm super excited to have you guys. I'm super excited to talk about my journey once again. Please, if you like this video, please like the actual video and comment down below. Tell me some of the ideas that you want me to talk about. Tell me what you thought about this video, some of the things that you would like to know about my locks. Tell me what you would like to see. Also, subscribe if you really connected with this video or connected with me as a person. And of course, share with other people, share with, a lock community, share with someone who's thinking about doing locks. And, make sure you turn on those notifications. And that is all. Thank you guys for returning. I appreciate it. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.